Unidos as mãos. Hello guys, this is Marcos Vinicius Biagio da Silva from the podcast and YouTube channel TP Mundo, Todos os Países do Mundo, the Brazilian who will talk to all nationalities, all citizens, all nationalities of the world.
All countries of the world.
Tous les pays du monde.
世界のすべての国。
Hello guys, this is Marcos Vinicius Biagio da Silva from the podcast and YouTube channel TP Mundo, Todos os Países do Mundo. I'm the Brazilian who will talk to every nationalities of the world. I hope so. But today, this video will be different. I will talk about visa, since I have a lot of foreigners, friends, and people who have doubts about that. And also, TP Mundo became an immigration agency, immigration consulting. So I'm very glad for this new project. And I will be supporting people who want to come to Brazil for work proposals, for family situation, or even business situation, I don't know. So that's why I'm making this video. So people who need Brazilian documents, people who need every information regarding the Brazilian immigration, I can support on that. First, you have to know that to come to Brazil, you need at least a passport. In some countries, you need your passport and the visa. If your country needs a visa to Brazil, you have to go to the Brazilian consulate on your country and request that. They used to take about 2 or 3 weeks for a visitor visa. With the visitor visa, you can come to Brazil and stay for 90 days, for 3 months. And then, depending on the nationality, you can renew that for another 90 days. For example, if you are Chinese and you want to come to Brazil for some weeks to do some business, for example, you have to go to the Brazilian consulate. I think there are 4 Brazilian consulates on China, and you have to request that. And then you can come to Brazil, and Chinese people can extend for another 90 days. But there are 169 countries that don't even need a visa to come to Brazil, like USA, Japan, Australia, the countries from European Union. They are some examples. People from these countries can come to Brazil just with the valid passport. So very simple, yeah. Besides the other recommendations that I can inform here, some recommendations like COVID situation, it changes week by week, but I can inform here. So as you may notice, Brazil is an open, welcoming country to receive every citizen in the world. What about the permanence for most time? What about the foreigner who wants to live in Brazil, to come here and stay here? So in this case, there are several situations, and I will talk about some of them. The first one is the work visa. If a Brazilian company needs your experience here in Brazil, this process can only be requested by a system called e-gov, in Portuguese e-gov, which is linked to the Brazilian government, and they decide if the foreigner is able to come to Brazil, to work in Brazil. Don't be afraid. If you respect the required rules, this application might be approved. As I reaffirmed, Brazil is an open and welcoming country, and we do need some experience here in Brazil. The responsible authority in Brazil, they don't use to deny if you present all documents they require. For example, on the work process, they request the experience information by a letter, written by the last experience for the foreigner. The education, it's necessary to prove the foreigner has the master degree, the degree, or even the high school. So we do have to present these documents. Any document issued abroad must be legalized or even apostilled to be valid in Brazil. It's a procedure to be done on the foreigner country. After this procedure, we must here in Brazil request the translation. Any document issued abroad must be translated into Portuguese as well. And then it's possible to apply the work permit in the system. We have just one version of the system that it's in Portuguese. It's a new system. The system works very well, but it's mandatory someone who speaks Portuguese. Brazil, it's getting better on the immigration situation if we compare the last years, but even today, it's mandatory a Brazilian consulting like mine, or even a Brazilian company who will hire this foreigner. Maybe they can apply direct. Among the work visa, the most common are the local hire visa, which is valid for 2 years. It can be renewed for a permanent one. The technical 1-year visa for technical services. The investor visa, which has some variations depending on the responsible to inject the money on the Brazilian company. Like the foreigner company do this investment in Brazil, or even the foreigner itself inject money here in Brazil. Keep in mind that all kind of work process by this system, by eGov system, must be done by a Brazilian company. The foreigner itself cannot request a work visa without a company in Brazil. And another important information is the importance of the Brazilian embassies and Brazilian consulates worldwide, because after the work permit application by this system, an authorization sent to the Brazilian consulate abroad. So another process has to be started. Some foreigners get confused on that because they think the consulate request directly is enough, but it's not. Because there are some cases that the consulate can apply the visa without any authorization from eGov. So before starting any application, I do recommend you to check at the Brazilian consulate website according to your address. They used to be very informative. If you don't find what you are looking for, you can ask me or even the consulate. I can inform here my email and my cell phone, and you feel free to contact me. So, besides the visitor condition and work visa, most of them by eGov system, besides the Brazilian consulates abroad, we have federal police importance as well. Don't be afraid, I will explain the role of these authorities. So, federal police is the immigration department here in Brazil, responsible to provide the RNM document, the new name of the RNA. And it's the foreigner ID document. The main document is like a card, and allow the foreigner to live in Brazil and to do some stuff here, like open a bank accounting, to hire a house, and to buy anything. So the RNM document, federal police can give the RNM document directly in some cases, like permanence through Brazilian marriage, Brazilian child, permanence by Brazilian child, Mercosur, temporary visa, student visa, and others. So don't be afraid, I know it can be confusing because we have eGov, we have the Brazilian consulates, and we have federal police. So these three authorities, each one has their own responsibility. And like I said, if you have doubts how you, in your case, best way to go ahead with your application, feel free to ask me. So depending on the situation, you might find information also in your language by the Brazilian consulate in your country. You can ask me questions in English. I speak French as well. Je parle français, comme les autres vidéos. I do understand the Spanish because it's similar to Portuguese. I know Portuguese is not so simple. It's a difficult language to learn. So I will keep doing this kind of video in English. and feel free to ask me. And trust me, the Brazilian immigration, it's getting better. We have another visa, we call it in Portuguese nomad digital or digital nomad, but it allows you to work in Brazil for your company, for your abroad company. And this visa allows the foreigner to keep in Brazil for 1 year. So we are getting better. I hope this video helps you some way, and feel free to contact me. See you on the next video.